What's going on, everyone? Welcome along to Arsenal Fan TV, and I'm leaving that game not really too sure how I'm meant to be feeling at the moment. Frustrated, angry are two things that come into my mind immediately, but moreover I'm relieved that Arsenal have come out of this game against Anderlecht in what looked like absolute despair at one point in the game. They would come out of it with 3 points, which were much needed for this, but there were so many problems with Arsenal today. It was a replicate performance of the game when we played Borussia Dortmund in the first game of the Champions League, and we looked completely and utterly inept in this game. But thankfully we managed to come out with the 3 points, which was all we really need to do in this one. But it's not a confidence boosted performance. First thing that went wrong for me was the team lineup. Playing 4-1-4-1 is something that we've persisted with far too much this season. Flamini playing in that holding role, and he was abysmal today. Flamini was so poor, making rookie errors, pub team stuff this. I mean, there was a moment in the game where he let a dummy go through to an Anderlecht player, and that really could have harmed us. If we were against any decent side like Real Madrid, Barcelona, they would have absolutely punished us. And if we were playing top quality opposition tonight, like Real Madrid, etc., we would have lost this game about 5 or 6-0. We were that bad. And our defence at the moment is abysmal. First thing that went wrong in defence for me was not continuing to play Hector Bellerin. I know he's only a young guy, but he should have started this game. Playing Monreal at centre-back just causes way too many problems for us. The goal we conceded, I don't want to put too much blame on Monreal, but the time he dawdled around the Anderlecht player, just letting him have so much time on the ball, allowing him to turn around, allowing him to hold the ball up, but he wasn't getting in his face, he wasn't getting the ball back. Poor defending on his behalf, but he's not a centre-back, so I kind of refuse to put any blame on him there. He shouldn't have to be in that scenario. I'd have maybe put Chambers in there, Bellerin a right back, like I said earlier, and then we wouldn't really, maybe that goal wouldn't have occurred. But Mertesacker, again, I thought he looked very woeful today, and that's continuing to be a growing concern. I thought he was drawn out far too easily for the goal, and the goal we conceded, moreover, is disappointing in the fact that we didn't learn a thing from that game against Hull, because the goal, it was exactly the same. Ball out to the right, crossed in, bang, in the back of the net. It's so simple, and the fact we're not able to defend it, even with that defence, we should have been able to do something out of it. Very, very poor from Arsenal there. And yeah, I don't know how many times I'm having to say that we haven't got a plan B. The number of times we dawdle around the box, we're passing it, trying to get in the box, and no one's shooting, no one's trying to make anything happen. And I think the only real player that can leave this game with their head held high is arguably Alexis Sanchez and maybe Lucas Podolski for getting the goal at the end, and as well as Kieran Gibbs. But a majority of those players, at least 8 players on that pitch, were extremely poor tonight. I mean, you've got to give some players the benefit of the doubt, maybe Aaron Ramsey because he's just coming back from injury, but other players were very poor tonight. Mertesacker, I thought, was very poor. Chambers, I don't think he had one of his best games, but all round, no one particularly had a good game. It was poor, weak performance from Arsenal, but we've got to build on this. I mean, if we're going to get any kind of momentum from this game, we've got to get a convincing win against Sunderland at the weekend, and then we play again at some point, got to win that, and then we got Burnley as well. So we've got to be winning all these games, building up momentum and playing better football. That's what's majorly important. The fact that we're having all this dominance, all this possession is great, but at the end of the day, we had a very similar shots on target ratio as Anderlecht, which Anderlecht aren't a particularly notable, reputable team, whereas we are, and we should have absolutely dominated that game. We should have won at least 3 or 4-0 tonight. And the defence, the injuries, yeah, it all comes into consideration. But the defence, the team we had out, should have won that game. Santi Cazorla was another one for me today that was very lacklustre. The number of corners, free kicks that he was put on tonight that absolutely nothing came from. And you know, I know other people take free kicks for us, but we do absolutely nothing from set pieces. I think at times we may as well not bother having them because we're just so wasteful from them. We just end up losing possession and then teams counter against us. It's pitiful from us on that behalf, and we're no good at defending them either. That's something we have to work on. But relating back to Cazorla tonight, I don't think he dictated the play particularly well. I thought his passing accuracy was very poor tonight. This goes for every other Arsenal player as well. It was the final ball or a misplaced pass or a loose touch that cost us tonight. Everything else, you know, you got to say was kind of perfect. The way we dictated play, that kind of stuff, but we couldn't thread a final ball in. I think Gibbs said it as well in the post-match interview. We couldn't put that final ball into the box, and that's where we miss Mesut Ozil. And he's not appreciated so much when he's on the pitch, but when he's off it, I think it's plain to see how much we miss him. Cazorla is so good at the basic stuff, but when it comes to threading the eye of the needle ball, he can't do it as well as someone like Mesut Ozil can. But we've got to look at the positive tonight. We've come out of it with the win. Excellent goal from Kieran Gibbs right at the end. Pitch perfect cross from Callum James to whip the ball in. A lovely first time volley by Kieran Gibbs. Coolly put into the back of the net, and Lucas Podolski of all people getting the winning goal. I'm really happy for him that he scored that, because he's someone that's come under a lot of criticism this season, and hopefully he can solidify a place in the starting 11 at some point. But if that performance from him is anything to go on tonight, he deserves to start that game, because he played so much better than any other player on the pitch. It disappoints me as well that players like Jack Wilshere drop in form as well slightly in this game. Professional footballers at this level have to be playing at the top, and it was real pub team stuff from Arsenal tonight. It was that poor from us. But we've got to bounce back, we've got to rejuvenate, and it is a win. We can build on this, regain that momentum that we had earlier on in the season, and hopefully push on this. But what I'm saying, remember, we haven't really got any momentum yet. We need to go on a run of games, and we've got the perfect opportunity to do that starting now. Anyway guys, those are my thoughts on Arsenal's game against Anderlecht tonight. If you have enjoyed the video, please give it a like rating. Subscribe to Arsenal Fan TV, check out my own channel, AFC Game by Game. But as always, thank you for watching guys.